Guys, what's up? It's me, Crypteria. Today I'm bringing you a video that many of you have been asking for, and yeah, it's finally here. It's how to create a texture. Now, there are three different types of textures. We've got kind of this light, pretty much this is a lightning effect. Not sure how to call it, but yeah, pretty much it's just to add some lights and shadows to our graphic. And then we've got this colored type of texture that many people use to, of course, add some color to the graphic or just to add them as a background. And we've got the traditional stock texture. That's pretty much what I do. That it combines stocks or images. As you can see, here's some plants, a church, here may be a window, this white thing, not pretty sure what it is, and of course some lights and shadows. So we're going to be creating a stock texture. We're going to be creating this one. And for this texture, I'm going to be using 3 stock or 3 images. For those that get a little bit confused, pretty much stock are images. For example, this is a space stock or an effect stock. This is a nature stock or animal stock. And this is a object stock. Pretty much images, but people call them stock. It sounds good. I don't know. It's good, okay? Just we're gonna be calling it stock because everybody calls them stock, but they're really pictures. All right, so yeah, we're gonna be creating a new file that would be 1925, and the color RGB, 8 bits. And resolution 300. Background white, that's fine. We're going to be changing that, but let's start with white. It really doesn't matter what color of background you start with. So first of all, I'm going to start with a black color. Okay, a layer of black color, and then I'm going to be adding my first image or stock. And this is this little kitty here. It's very pretty. I want this to fit the screen, so I'm making this bigger. If you press the button or the key shift on your keyboard, and if you make this bigger, it won't, like, sometimes the pictures look very weird when you just drag them when you make them bigger without pressing the shift key. So yeah, please just remember to press that key while you're making a picture bigger. So this, I'm going to call it background. This is pretty much just to add a little bit of, because a plain black, it's boring, so I'm going to be adding a background, and I'm going to be blurring this. And okay, so I have Photoshop in Spanish, so I'm really not sure how this is called in English, but I believe that this is pretty much the same, but I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So the ratio really doesn't matter. I'm gonna add this in a 40 pixels ratio, or 47. Okay, that's fine. Now we've got we're going to be creating, well, not creating, but we're going to be adding a new layer of black and white, since I want this texture to be all black and white. That way it's easier to apply to a graphic or a design. So I'm going to do that in automatic. There we go. All right. Now we're going to be working, the next 2 layers that we're going to be adding, they're going to be below the black and white layer and on top of the background layer. We're going to be adding the nebula stock or image. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Okay, put this in the middle. Done. And we're going to add this on screen. There we go. Okay, so it's looking a little bit better. Now it looks like pretty much looks like a texture now. It's getting there. And now we're going to be adding our third stock. This is the clock. It's a beautiful clock here. I'm going to put this in the middle. Okay, now since I want this clock to be white, I want this to be white, this to be white, and the background, of course, to be gone. I'm going to invert the colors of this picture. In order to do that, I'm going to select it, of course, and then go to Image, Settings, I believe. I'm not sure how this is called in English or Photoshop English. And we're going to go to Invert. There we go. And we're going to add this layer in screen or lightning or light. Yeah, light. Okay, yeah, light. There we go. And of course, since we've got this kind of ooh, what happened? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. Okay, back to where we inverted the image. So we're going to add this in light. There we go. And then we're going to erase the parts that we don't want. Pretty much the corners. Now you don't need to add this in screen. If you use the pen to crop your images, do that, or whatever you use. I'm just doing this to make this video tutorial fast and quick, so you guys get the point. Because if this is a long tutorial, you guys would be bored, and I really do not want that. So yeah, there it is. Now, as you can see, the sun, it really disappears since the nebula, it's very white here, right? So we're going to be adding a empty layer between the nebula and the watch or the clock. And with the black brush, hardness 0, size, really depends. In this case, I want this 363, it's fine. There we go. And now I'm just going to lower the opacity to 50%. And there we go. Since the whole texture is almost done, it's pretty much done, but I feel like there's too much white. It's too light for me. But if you like it this way, that's fine. But this is just me. And I'm going to add a new layer of brightness and contrast, and I am going to play with it. It's pretty, but yeah, I like very dark textures, so I'm going to lower the brightness a little, and I'm going to add contrast. There we go. Okay, and as you can see, there is our texture pretty much done. Very simple. Of course, remember that you need to have a background, an effect, and a subject. I'm sorry about that bird. I don't know. It's under my window. Sorry. But yeah, you need to have a background, effect, and subject. You can add as many subjects as you want. You can add as many effects as you want. But remember to keep this clean and simple, because if you add too much things, maybe the texture won't be that helpful. So this is very simple. It's going to add effects to the signature banner or whatever you're working with. It's because it does not have that much of a effects and objects. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I'm gonna leave all the credits and the bottom of my DeviantArt. And if you have a question or concern or something, please let me know in the comments. Suggestions, let me know. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope this was helpful, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye!